Hello. Oh, trying to get my phone to stand up. There we go. Hi, it's Deanna, and today is Tuesday. It's your oil a day, and we are going to be talking about eucalyptus. Whoa, man. Sorry. Give me 1 second. This is not working today. Gosh, it has a little stand and it's not working out. There we go. Let's try that again. So eucalyptus is our oil a day, and I really like eucalyptus because it is like a minty oil, but it's not as strong as, say, peppermint. And so when I put it on my skin, it doesn't irritate. And I do have pretty sensitive skin, and so that is a real thing. And so I would imagine with kids it would be similar, as they tend to have more sensitive skin, or elderly people. So I think I'm going to have to hold my phone because it's not wanting to cooperate with me. So this is an oil that has been something I can use kind of as an alternative to peppermint, because it's still got that kind of energizing, uplifting quality to it, and also cooling, but yet it doesn't irritate. Of course, it is really, really great for breathing. So if you feel like you have some challenges with your respiratory system, you just need to open up your airways, you got some clogged sinuses or nasal passages, you can inhale this oil. So a good way to clear the nasal passages would be to just get a cup of steaming hot water and put a couple of drops of eucalyptus. Make sure you close your eyes, and then maybe put a towel or something over your head, and then inhale really deeply, and that'll clear things out. If you don't want to do the hot steam, or you're at work or something, you can put a little bit on your chest and then just put your shirt up over your nose for a few minutes. Make sure a customer doesn't walk in at that moment. That would be awkward. But that's just another way to do it. If you don't have access to steaming hot water, you can create a t-shirt tent and just kind of use your breath to create that steam for you. So, heat and moisture drive the oils deeper, and that's the reason for doing that. Another thing you can do is you can take some with you in the shower. So I will squirt it in places in the shower that I know the water's not going to hit, so like the outer edges, but yet it'll get steam and it'll help to open up the airways that way. And so I might do that if I have a cold or something and I'm really just trying to open things up. Or if you just want to wake yourself up and feel energized for the day, that's a great way to do that. So with dogs and cats, are pretty sensitive to certain oils, and even though they may not have an immediate reaction when you use the oils on them, over a period of time, what is my problem? Over a period of time of using those oils, they can build up and in their liver and create a toxicity situation. So eucalyptus is a good alternative to use for breathing problems versus using, say, Breathe, because it has melaleuca and citrus oils, which you kind of want to avoid especially with cats, and definitely especially with cats and possibly with smaller dogs. So what I do is I will put a couple drops of eucalyptus and a couple drops of cardamom in the diffuser, and that really seems to help. I had a dog, he just recently passed away, but he had years and years of respiratory issues. In fact, he was the reason that I started using oils, and I didn't know. I just used Breathe on him in the beginning, and then as I realized that it wasn't good to use that every single day, I went to eucalyptus and cardamom. And I use those same two oils for my son. He's small, he's only 2, and since he's smaller and Breathe can be pretty intense, I prefer in his closed up little room at night to do eucalyptus and cardamom. Now let me just clear up a misconception and some false information that's floating around on the internet. Now I know that's hard to believe that there's false information on the internet. Gasp. But there is false information floating around about the safety of eucalyptus oil in children. I hear it all the time because I work with parents, and they're obviously concerned for their kids, and they should be. But what they should be much, much more concerned about is the toxins that they're breathing in every single day from bleach and artificial fragrances and all those types of things. So the essential oil expert who first introduced the idea that eucalyptus contained something and peppermint contained something that could be harmful for infants to inhale, Robert Tisserand, he actually encountered a pretty intense 3-hour I don't know what to call it, dialogue by one of our blue diamonds in doTERRA that they had actually investigated it and proven that it was perfectly safe when used properly. And he actually contacted the blue diamond in doTERRA and said that he was going to recant his original position based on this new science. And so if you're reading something out there that says, don't use eucalyptus with your kids, then just know that the world's leading essential oil company is teaching that it's safe. So number one, that's a huge, huge idea that it's probably safe. So you can usually trust doTERRA. You can always trust doTERRA to lead the way in safety and science and every other area, since they're the world's leading experts in essential oils. And they've basically created safety standards that other people that don't even exist yet in other companies. But also because Robert Tisserand, even though I don't agree with a lot of stuff he says, and he tends to be very overly cautious on some things, Robert Tisserand, who's way overly cautious, has specifically said that he believes that it is perfectly safe. So you can rest your minds, put those at ease if you have kiddos. But with any essential oils, you want to keep them out of reach of kids. You want to use less oil because the person's smaller. And if it's a oil that's sensitive or hot, use a carrier. Okay, and if you have an accident, you get oil in the wrong spot, just use coconut oil or whole fat milk to flush that area. Don't use water. But when you're in a small enclosed room, like my son's room's pretty small, and so I want to put a diffuser in there at night if he's struggling with breathing, he's got a little sniffle going on or a cough. I just want to be careful. I don't like overload him all night with like a really intense oil like Breathe. Breathe just has peppermint and really a lot of stuff in it that's really strong. So I just think it's a little better in a small enclosed area, especially with a small child, to do the cardamom eucalyptus combo. Now, eucalyptus can also be good for relieving pain. It's also a good insect repellent, so you can put that on when you're going to be out in the woods. There's lots of other oils you can use, but this is one. And it's actually been studied that it can repel certain kinds of ants and things like that, so that's pretty cool. Trying to think what else I've used eucalyptus for. Basically, the biggest reason that I actually recommend eucalyptus is because of its emotional benefits. And because of my story and because I have such a history of illness and such a remarkable recovery, I tend to attract a lot of people that have lifetime illness or severe illness that want to improve their health naturally. And so what I find is that the biggest challenge to changing your health the way I did is actually here. It's not actually in your physical body, it's in your mind. And it's because a lot of reasons, but sometimes we don't feel like we deserve to be well. Sometimes we become attached to our illness. I have talked to a lot of people that they have not allowed their mind to believe that it's okay for them to be a healthy person. And that's a real thing. I can remember when I was in the process of becoming well after 20 years, and I had this moment where it hit me like, oh my gosh, like I could get better and not be sick anymore. And then I had this fear strike me, and I literally thought to myself, what will I do and who will I be if I'm not sick anymore? And it's like I didn't know how to be. I had never been an adult who was healthy. And here I was, approaching 40, and I just had no idea how to live like a healthy adult. And it scared me, and it almost made me want to stop getting better. And if that sounds really crazy to you, just check yourself, because you may not do that on such an extreme scale, but you may find yourself saying like, oh, I always get sick. I always catch a cold. Every winter I get pneumonia. And just these different comments that we say that limits our body. Oh my, I'll never lose weight. I'll never do this, or I can't do that. And eucalyptus, inhaling it, making it part of your daily routine, it really helps to get you out of that mindset of sick and over to healthy and well and healed and just whole. And so even if it's like you're struggling emotionally, a lot of people, we get into this place where we just start attracting illness, and we even start attracting things like tick bites and mold and things like that are like parasitic in our body, because we're just at this really low vibration point where we feel like a victim, and we feel like we're just a sick person. And so that it gravitates towards you. And even bad relationships and people that victimize people, that can all be in the same category. So if that sounds like something that you're struggling with, or you have a friend or family member who's struggling with it, time for the oil roofies. Get that in their diffuser and help them to recognize that their mindset may be in the wrong place and maybe holding them back from the life that they want to live. I can tell you from experience, and it's something that if I'm not careful, I can fall right back into that trap again and say, oh, yep, must be nice for these people that can lose weight. I can't do it. I lost 150 pounds. I know I can lose weight. My body's capable of it. And if it's anything holding me back, it's here. And so if you just need to get your mindset into a place of whole and healthy, this is the oil that you want to include in your life. Breathe in good things, and eucalyptus will help you to clear your mind and clear your airways. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please share the video and your comments below. I love reading your comments and your little emoticons. That makes me smile. Have a wonderful day. I love you. Shine on.